Welcome back to Real Talk with Real People, a candid conversation with Dr. Caroline Bethea-Jones. I am Dr. Caroline Bethea-Jones, and as you know, one of my favorite pastimes is having conversation with interesting people on any topic that they feel like bringing to the table. I love talking to people. Well, I should say I love talking with people, because I would hate to think that I'm talking to people and they ain't listening to me. So I like talking with people. I love getting to know people, promoting people, and giving all people an opportunity to share a little piece of themselves with you, my listeners. And I want to thank you for listening. It means a lot to me that you tune in each month for a dose of real talk with real people. Now today, my guest is Barbara Hargrove, a wife, a mother, a daughter, a friend, and a woman of God. I am blessed to have her on my show to share with you her journey. So please, please, please welcome author of Girl, What's Up in L.E.A.D? And L.E.A.D is an acronym for Leverage, Elevate, Accelerate, and Dominate. Miss Barbara Hargrove. Girl, thank you for coming to my show today. How are you?
I am well. I am well. And I say that because some days we're not. And today I am.
Good. You know? I caught you on a good day. I got you on a good day.
You did. Yes, you absolutely did. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to jump right on in there, because I know you got a lot to tell us today, because I want to know a lot about, that whole acronym got me saying, yes, girl, yes, girl. So I want you to tell us a little bit. All right. I'm going to let you start where you want to start. Where you want to start?
Okay. Well, if we're going to start with the book, well, first of all, hey, y'all, thank you so much for having me. I absolutely appreciate it. I do not take it for robbery that you want to talk to me.
Of course I want to talk to you.
I know, this day and time with social media and everybody trying to get in people's spaces, people got boundaries. So I appreciate that you want to have a candid conversation with me.
Well, you're very welcome.
So we have to start, if we just start, go ahead with the book. Here it is right here. Oh. So basically, we as women, when we hear the word lead, we think about it, especially in the different industries that we do have. A lot of industries are male dominated, right? Mm-hmm. Except for maybe one of the most satisfying one, I say, is the home.
Okay.
That's where men, typically aren't leading. And this was just a clarion call for myself, because I was a person that wore many hats, but I didn't always complete tasks.
Okay.
So myself, along with about 16 other women, we just came into a space where we said that we would share our struggles as well as our success strategies on how we make it day by day, moment by moment. So this is really a self anthology where we just shared facets of who we were, or are, I should say, in the spaces that we were holding, at that time. Yeah. And so, and one thing is you never want to boast in yourself, but if you've made great strides in your life thus far, I feel like you should always share those experiences.
Yes, I agree.
So, and it's just really knowing how to decipher between the two, being boastful or you're just sharing the information, so, and that's what we did. So we came up with this book, and I have to give a shout out to my girl, Dana Faulkner. So, because it was just like, Sims, I'm going to forget her whole name. And it was just like, let's have girl power. It's nothing new under the sun, Yeah. It's what we've been doing for years. However, we had a space where it was more competition than there was collaboration. So we decided to collaborate, and that's how the book was formed. Yep.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
So tell me about that title. Tell me about that there. I'm more interested in the lead part, the leverage, the elevate, the accelerate, and dominate. I mean, you're gonna go through every single one of them steps with me. Okay.
Okay. Well, the thing is, is you just think of your life. You learn how to leverage tools and tactics that you've learned or things that were passed down, from culture or family. And you learn to leverage that to make you stand on a platform where you are or where you're going.
Okay.
So you learn to leverage that. When you accelerate, then you start teaching. Not accelerate. When you elevate, you start teaching it to someone else. That allows you to elevate to whatever your next level is. Because the goal in life, period, should always be each one teach one, or reach back and bring somebody up.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
in any industry, or even in your family culture, we should always be leaving a successor
Yeah.
of any kind.
Yeah.
So that's definitely what you want to teach. And then when you get to accelerate doesn't mean always moving fast, but just have better ways of getting to the goal. Like we should just be in a place where it shouldn't be generation after generation after generational curse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It should be some generational blessings. And some people don't like to accelerate because a lot of people don't like to be first, because first always take the hardest blow.
I see.
Yeah. So so the conversation will start to look like, well, we all do this. This is how we are in our family, or whatever the case may be. No, let's accelerate to we're doing it better, opposed to this is how we all do it. This is just who we are.
Yes.
No. And then dominating is you or your support system should be such a force to be reckoned with that nobody can come in and infiltrate.
I love it.
So that's what that acronym is all about.
All right. Well, I love it. I really do. I love it.
So that's really what the premise was when Dana brought the idea to us, and just the thought of me ever being an author was just like, but I am. And even now, correct. And even now, like, the book it's been out for over a year, and I'm still holding it like a baby, because it really is one of the things that I finished, And so I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to release it, but I know so many people need the strategies and tools and even the struggles, so they can learn how to accelerate past those to get to where they need to be.
Yes.
So I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So is this your first book?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have another book?
Oh, I have many books in this think box.
Oh, okay. Now
I do. As a mom, I always wanted to do a children's book. Don't know which way I'm going with it yet. And yes, I am really ready to write book number 2.
Good. I like that. I like that. Yes. I'm glad to hear that you have some things in your think tank, because when you write one book, you've broken the glass. You've gotten rid of the fear. You've said, I did it once, I can do it again. So I always like to encourage individuals to don't sit on your glory. Although, yes, you cradle in that like a baby, but don't sit there. Let's crank out another one. So I'm always encouraging authors, first-time authors especially, or if you have a book in your head but you haven't written it on paper, I'm always encouraging authors and would-be authors to keep on writing. I'm encouraging myself too. I have been an author since 2001, but I've reached a place in my life where I'm struggling to try to write every day like I want to, because we have what we call the superwoman. I can do all things, whatever you want to call it. And we do so many things that we push aside our passion.
Yep.
To do the things that we have to do, want to do, whatever. So I've kind of pushed aside my passion. So I hope you have not pushed aside your passion.
Not in this season. I have in seasons past. Because it's so much that I want to do. And once you get in age and you start to see that you gotta respect time, it's like there's that acceleration coming again. Mm-hmm. It's not that you skipped L&E, but you are gun-ho on that A. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you want to get it done. However, I still don't want to do anything hastily.
Yes.
And before it's timing, because I am a firm believer that God's timing is always perfect.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
So, and then when I think about what got me to this time, mm-hmm. looking back at over all the times past, God's timing is still perfect today.
Always will be. So
mm-hmm.
you are a woman of God.
Oh yeah, man. And of course, life had to happen in order to even honor that title. Okay. So yes, unapologetically.
Okay. Let's talk about that for a little while. Let's talk about what it means to be a woman of God. I mean, we hear that title a lot. I use it toward myself as well. What does it mean to you to be a woman of God?
Accountability. That's the first one.
Okay.
And that's not always easy because we are conditioned to point that finger at somebody else. And my grandmother used to say, you got something coming back to you. But, it's accountability and being able to be vulnerable. And when I use the word vulnerable, I'm not talking about strength or weakness. I'm saying being able to really relinquish the inner parts of you, sift through them and be like, okay, now I can work with this. Okay. So it's really that breaking up that hollow ground, that surface place to absolutely get to where you want to be. I remember when we were younger, the children's choir, we used to sing a song, help me to see me the way that you see me. And, it was definitely a song to God. And basically sometimes we don't really want to see us how God sees us because we may not be able to handle it. But if you spend time with the Creator, in my opinion, He will show you the multifacets of who you are and who you are to become. Yeah. And then you ask Him to show you how to deal with it, because again, that goes back to that timing. Just like a baby doesn't come out walking. Mm-hmm. Now they may have everything in them and even the tools to walk, because you have to have legs to walk. You have to have the withal and the will to walk. But guess what? You're not gonna walk till you see somebody else walk. Yeah. Because that's not how you understand what I'm saying? So it's that why I believe and know that I'm a woman of God, because looking back again over the things that I had to experience and endure, I know I ain't by myself. Absolutely. I know somebody was yet praying.
Because I had a praying grandmama.
Yes, someone was absolutely yet praying, and just to see not just their prayers, but I've seen my prayers.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's where I know that there's a God. Yeah. For me. Yeah. And so
I hear you.
That's why I can definitely say it. And good, bad, and indifferent, and the ugly and all of that. I know that there's a God for me, because His word for me goes back to, for I know all things work together for the good of those that love God and are called according to His purpose. We don't always want to talk about the all things. Yeah. But that's what made you. Yeah. That's what made you. And if you made it to the point where you can talk about it, you're a survivor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So walk us through your journey of how you got to where you are right now. Because, everybody has a journey. We don't start
yeah,
out where we want to be. It takes
correct.
it takes time. So walk us through your journey.
So little girl born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. Of course, you already being born in Newark, New Jersey, you're already hit with stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
So, and being raised in a single parent home, and not only just a single parent home, my mother is military.
Mm.
So, but she wasn't bad. let me just say it.
She
She
wasn't
had
that strict.
structure. Right? No, she was not. She had structure, yes. We had rules, yes, but she was very, very what's the word I want to use? She was very, very talkative, and sometimes I just used to like beat me, please.
Mm. She
But
was a
no,
lecturer. She was a lecturer.
yes, yes, and still to this day, thank you God, but still to this day, she's still like that. She always want to talk, and I just like, but however, again, being born in Newark, New Jersey, in a single parent home, so you had all of those stipulations toward you. Was smart, but didn't want to be smarter than the crowd,
Yeah.
because then I feel
You'd be teased and ridiculed.
right, exactly. So I wanted to fit in, and did, or the fit in was, I'll do your homework for you. And now everybody would be, oh no, that's girl, that's Barb, that's the homie, she makes that way. But I really never fit in. I didn't. I wasn't the cool kid. I was only cool because I was doing the homework, or giving answers and all this other stuff. And so, I mean, it worked in my favor because it did allow me to get a full ride to Montclair State University, and be a part of what we at that time it was called Project Grad at Malcolm X Shabazz, where we were the top tier of the classes. And some people will say, well, that's not a lot for Shabazz. Yes, it is. It's because out of a class of 400, I was in the top 10 and 20%.
Yeah.
So that was great, Yeah. So
that's right.
So it was that, and then I went on to become who I was becoming. But fast forward, now let me rewind. Before all of that, I had to endure rapes and molestations. So that part played also the inferiority side in me, where I used to be like, why did this happen to me?
Yeah.
When I'm nice to everybody, or I'm, making sure that everybody was taken care of, or everybody was happy,
Mm-hmm.
And so that played a part also into, being smart, because if I'm smart, maybe they'll leave me alone.
Yeah.
All of that. So, and then there was that other facet of daddy issues, because like I said, my mom, it was a single home. So I thought that happened because daddy wasn't in the picture. So all of that played a part, even down to relationships, even down to my husband. I wanted him to be daddy because daddy wasn't there. So that's all of that.
Yeah.
All of that. And I can talk about it now because I've survived it.
Yes.
But there was moments where you couldn't even get me to say the word without throwing up, or having a vile feeling about it. And so, I just recently began therapy, and or seeking someone that I didn't believe that will turn my trauma back on me.
Right.
So that's why I say I know without a shadow of a doubt, God loves me.
Yes. Yeah. There's so many women who share your story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so many women who are not healed enough to talk about their story.
Correct.
And it's so I'm glad that you are healed enough to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With therapy, let's talk about therapy. And I want to talk about therapy for a moment, because I just canceled my very first therapy session, which was supposed to be on Thursday. And I got I said to myself, oh, I'm gonna do it. And then as you know, as I knew I would, today I canceled it because I didn't feel
Oh,
comfortable quite
yeah.
yet to talk to somebody,
Hmm.
you know.
So, um, therapy. Let's just put this. We all have a therapist. Not may not be clinically
Yes, yes,
developed,
yes,
but we all have therapists or people that we believe that we can talk to.
right.
But having a clinically developed therapist gives you a different perspective because they're not knee deep in the actual situation.
Hmm.
They are they are trained to give you tools and tactics that let you see it from a different lens
Mm.
because you're only seeing it from the lens that is trauma.
Yeah,
So if you have those other catalysts where you can just be like, okay, I didn't see it from that perspective, it allows you to now pull back the layers. The thing about any trauma, I forgot who said it, but I saw a quote that said, healing always hurts worse than the initial pain.
I can see that. Yeah,
Me too, because you have to, even though, like, just like a scab, even though you know, it done folded over and it done healed, and or even the scab fell off, that wound is still there. But if you
yeah,
were to go reopen that wound, it's gonna hurt again. And who's to say that the same healing time will take place?
yeah, yeah,
So it's like that, and even with me opening up about the different traumas that I have experienced that I really thought that I was healed from, I didn't know I was, but I really wasn't
yeah, yeah,
because of the ways that I operate. And I didn't know that those were still foundational
yeah,
seeds
yeah,
that
yeah.
that never came up, but they were still in the ground.
It was
Does
still in
that
the
make
ground.
sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So so you have some seeds that sprouted up. You have some seeds that got choked, but you still have some seeds that were in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you happen to see them, and you like, I thought you got swallowed up too,
Yeah,
but they didn't. So now it takes you to officially abort them.
yeah, yeah.
So I recommend a strong faith base for whatever your practice religion will be, as well as a therapist. And I don't always recommend religious therapy
Mm-hmm.
because some of the tools is just, it can be on a religious base. I love therapy because of the practical sense and how to deal with things in practicality,
Yeah,
and that's just that.
yeah.
But that's why I recommend it highly.
Well, I know it's recommended, and I even say, okay, it's recommended. And up until today, I thought I was going to have this session. But I just decided that I didn't want to open up no wounds, so I decided that I just wasn't ready. And I guess you have to wait until you're ready. I may not ever be ready, or I might be ready tomorrow. I don't know. I just didn't feel like I was ready to talk to um anyone. But anyway, that's me. And I'm so glad that you have found your healing. I am grateful for that. It's so funny because um I know the importance of therapy, and I actually my character in my very first book, I had her seeing a therapist because I knew the importance of therapy in the Black community. And I know that I thought that there might have been a stigma in the Black
Hmm.
community
Oh
about
yeah.
seeing a therapist.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Why do you think that is?
The black. culture or structure, as well as if it links with the Black church.
Mm.
And I think the stigma comes from just not knowing. And that not knowing is a fear. Because, again, you bringing up those old things, or I don't want to say things, you're bringing up that trauma, and it may surface again embarrassment.
Yeah.
It may serve or shame, or whatever the case may be. And a lot of people really don't want to relive that. But what happens when you don't, you will put yourself in a cycle of traumas that were never learned from. And prime example, for me, I was more so wanting to make everybody happy, being this people pleaser. And those persons not knowing were predatorial to me, just like the molester was. So, or I will have these passive aggressive conversations by myself or in the mirror. You know how you super yourself up, but I will never have them with the person who I felt wrongly. So I always dealt with running from the predator because I never told what happened. I don't even remember if the person said, "You better not tell." I don't even remember if that was the case. I just knew that it was a wrong doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even remember if that person said, "You better not tell."
Mm-hmm.
I just absolutely knew that it was wrong. And now that I'm thinking about it, and this is probably the part that repulses me, like I still remember what it felt like. And so that diminished a lot of ways that I dealt in life, for my own sexuality, my own just thought of being a woman, and in certain areas of life, I thought I had to be domineering because I didn't want the predatorial feeling to come again.
Yeah.
So that was that. And I really am grateful for therapy because it's putting me in a place where I can really see what they call it, 2020 hindsight, or hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
So and it's not always what you want to see, but seeing it from a different lens where I'm no longer angry, I'm no longer scared, I'm no longer embarrassed or shameful, because I'm at the point where it wasn't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the reason why it happened. It was just a person using their brolicness to push up, literally. And so that's what that was. Or it was. Because I'll fight you now. No. But no, like seriously. So it's just, yeah, that's really, child, I'm able to talk about it. It's a step in its own.
It is a step in its own. All right, let's change the subject a little bit. Let's talk about motherhood. So how many kids you got?
Two little babies.
2 little babies.
No, they ain't little babies. I have a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Okay,
but
still babies.
Yeah. Yep, I got these babies. 2 boys. I'm a boy mom. But I can say, even though we're changing the subject, I can say, when I dealt with infertility, I thought, because of my circumstances, I thought I was robbed of that.
Oh, you had issues getting pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yep. And so I thought I was robbed of that. And that was the one thing since a little girl that I've always wanted to be, of course, because we've always had doll babies.
Yeah, we always, that's what we wanted. That's what you want to be, You want to be mommy, right?
Correct. So when I remember when I was 16, And I remember that doctor telling me since we're in New Jersey, I'll just tell the hospital. I don't remember his name though. I was at North Beth Israel Hospital, and he said, "Yeah, your chances of you having children is like slim to none."
Hmm.
And I was just like, "Oh," but that wasn't because I've come to find out later it wasn't because of the molestations and the rapes. It was because of what we call PCOS, and that's called polycystic ovaries, and that's a syndrome where we as women, we should be producing estrogen innately. I was producing more testosterone.
Oh, okay.
And so it gives you the irregularity in your menstruals. It gives you facial hair. It gives you weight gain or no weight gain or no menstruals, or it gives you the lack thereof, and not enough to give you what you need to quote unquote be a woman or become a woman. Right. So it was that. And so becoming a mother is one of my greatest joys.
Okay.
Greatest joys. I remember even when my husband and I first got married, we lost our first child. And that was a trauma. It was like trauma after trauma. We lost our first baby. So once we finally got pregnant with my oldest son, again, I was like, I'm gonna nurture this. Ain't nobody gonna take this one from me. So motherhood is absolutely my joy, and I will go to back. My kids know. They'll tell you even now, that 4-year-old will be like, "Mommy, I tear something up for me." Like that. And so it is absolutely my heart's joy, and I am honored that God saw fit to let me be a vessel for those two kings that I have to have steward over.
Well, That's good. I'm glad that you were blessed in that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yep.
So what do you do for fun?
Ooh, child, we travel.
Travel? Ooh.
Yeah. We travel, we see the world, we make memories. I've been in what they call a corporate rat race. And don't get me wrong, I still work now. Where it was like, what do they call it? Trading time for money. Like you were literally just in that rat race, and just the stress of being an adult and all of that good stuff. But I said, I am going to travel.
Okay.
And that's what we do. I've been to Europe. I've been to Jamaica. Been to Mexico. We've been to the Bahamas. Excuse me. Like I recently just started traveling, but I was in Europe in like my 20s.
Okay.
I'll be 41 in July. Okay. And so, but we recently, like in the past, since COVID, we started right after they lift the ban up, we started going again. We started going everywhere. One of my goals was always to see the 50 states. I don't even remember how many states I've been to so far, but I'm not done, but I've been accomplishing those goals in the different places that, we want to go. We put it on the map, or what we did last year was like put places in a hat, shook it up, whatever we picked, that's what. So we've done that, and I love doing that. I love being at the house with family. I'm talking about not just my family. I'm talking about my extended family, like my cousins and them, and aunties, and all those, and come in and we eat, we break bread together. I love that. I love doodling.
Okay.
Like I just sit in there.
Okay. So that's another career, maybe?
We'll see. I've been doing that now. That I've been doing since a little girl.
Okay.
But not because I am an author. I've always been an avid reader, because it's just one of the things I like to do. That's fun to me.
Yeah. Okay. Reading and writing. And writing and making up stories in your head. You see how I came back to the stories. You see how I came back to the writing.
That's all right. Keep watering the seed. Keep watering.
I'm a water. Right. I'm gonna water it because I want to see everybody just we got stories to tell. And like I tell the ladies that I talk to, I don't care who I'm talking to, whether you're an author or not an author, if you read or you watch TV, or you're watching somebody else's imagination, you're reading somebody else's imagination, somebody else's story. We read the history books, we watch the news, we're listening to other people's stories, but you have a story to tell. And I'm always trying to encourage, we can be history. 100 years from now, somebody could be reading about you.
Well, we are history. And that's why I was at Montclair State, and I remember that's when Facebook had just came out, and then that's when emails were getting big and all of the other stuff. And there was like signatures that you would leave with your outgoing mail to say who you are, or So that was what 20 some odd years ago. God gave it to me just as clear as day. There's nothing new under the sun. Just your turn now.
There is nothing new under the sun.
But it was the semicolon comma, or no, the semicolon rather. It's your turn now.
It's your turn now. Okay.
And so that's on the back of my book. That's been my quote that has been given to me for years, and it's copywritten now. It's on the back of the book.
Yeah. Okay. Now. And let's go back to the book for a second. Where can the listeners get a copy of the book? How can they get a copy of the book?
I have a link for PayPal.
Okay.
That's on my social media, where they can just go ahead and purchase the book. For your listeners, I will give 10% off.
Okay.
Just put in the caption. Just put in the caption. Conversation. Candid conversation.
I gotta write this down for my listeners.
Yeah.
Write this down. All right. So what is your website? Where can they go?
Right. So if you go onto my Facebook or my IG is Barbara, BARBARAB, and then Hargrove. And if you go on just Facebook, I'm Barbara Hargrove. Same pictures are there. So you click in the links, the link tree, and the PayPal link is there where you can order the book. It absolutely says "Girl Boss Up and Lead." So you click on there.
Okay.
And they get it. Yes.
Okay, that's good, because you know what, we want to talk about the book, but we also want to talk about where our listeners can purchase the book. So we don't want to leave that part out. So I want to make sure I put that also in the comment field of the post when it posts up, because we want to support. We're going to support.
Yeah, I can send you the link too, so you can just go ahead and copy and paste.
Great, because I want everyone to be able to support you, and everybody else who come on this show. I mean, you're getting the opportunity to be supported, and I think we should support one another. I really believe that. So I really want
to support your supporters. But that's the gift in it all. And that's why the book was birthed, because we have enough competition.
Yeah.
It's collaborate.
Oh, yeah.
Learn, see what it is that you can grow from.
Absolutely.
You don't have to take everyone's advice, but information is good once it's shared.
Information is good. And we have a lot to share. All of us can contribute to this, and we have a lot to share. So
my pastor says, take up your space in the earth. Yours. Take up your space, because space that's designated for somebody else, you probably can't fit in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think I run with that.
Good.
Yep. I'm excited. It's so exciting. This was such a great segue to my other facets, like who I'm becoming. Like I love talking. I love in the past 3 weeks, so many people was like, "You're not a speaker," and I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Okay, you're not yet, but things change every single day.
Every day.
God changes us, even when we resist and fight. God says, this is where I want you to be. And the good thing about, what we do with our lives is that you had said it earlier when we were talking about, I think we were talking about babies, or everybody has everything inside of them that they need to complete a task, right?
Absolutely.
We already have it, even when we don't see it. Even
Correct.
when we ourselves can't even fathom it. But if we were given an assignment, we were also given everything we need to complete that assignment. And sometimes we don't even realize it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. When I see people from my past, they always tell me, "Oh my God, you were so quiet. Now you don't stop talking." Yeah, I was a quiet little girl, a quiet young woman. I was shy and awkward, but God has something bigger. And so, this is why I'm Caroline.
Right. This is why I'm Barbara, right? And so maybe last year, maybe the year before last, I saw my predator. When you said see people from the past, right?
Yeah.
I saw them and I thought that I would be angry. It's almost like that. What movie was that? Jill Scott. When she saw the friend, or whoever took her husband.
Oh,
She saw that person in the
why did I
bathroom.
get married? Why did
Right,
I get married?
right,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
correct. So
Yeah.
I saw them and I felt sorry for them.
Yeah.
Like it didn't bring up any ill feelings or ill will toward them or anything like that. I just saw them and I was just like, it was like not like, it was the manifestation of vengeance is mine, saith
Mm-hmm.
the Lord.
That's right.
And it was almost scary because, I don't ever want nobody to be hurt, it's like,
Yeah.
but I was like, whoa, whoa. But even in that, my job is to pray that God have mercy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was that. And I was just like, wow. Like, yeah. Yeah. It was just one of those things.
Well, you are truly blessed. I can see the blessings
Oh
all
yeah.
over you. I can see the glow all over your face. Oh, my listeners can't see the glow on your face, but take my word for it. There's a glow. There's a
Aww.
peace. There's a happiness there. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing your journey with me and talking with me. I love talking to people, and I really hope that you and I can stay in touch and that we can
Absolutely.
continue to form a friendship, because that's what happens when people get together. They find that they have some things in common. They find that they want to keep continuing the conversation. And so this is why I love doing what I do, because I get to meet some amazing people. And Miss Barbara Hargrove, you are one of the amazing people that I got a chance to meet tonight. So I want to thank
Aww.
you. Thank you so much for being part of Real Talk with Real People. And you know what? She came with the real talk too. She came with the real talk, and I am so grateful that you felt comfortable enough to be real, your real true self. So thank
Well, you know
you.
why? Know why? From a little girl, I never wanted somebody to tell on me and tell the wrong story.
Okay.
Never.
Telling your
Even
own
when
story.
yep. Even when I used to get in trouble and they be like, "Nuh-uh, she did this, and I say, "No, that's not what I did." I may still get in trouble, but you don't tell the real truth.
Right. You want to be able to tell your own story, and I get that.
Yeah, I've always been like that since a little girl, and it made people not like me. But I mean, I don't care now, but I probably didn't care then. But I'm a firm believer. I know who's the author and creator of my story, but he also gave me the pen.
Yeah. He sure did.
So, yeah, I just be like, listen, nah, nope, you're not gonna put what they call it, put salt in the game. No, this is what happened.
Mm.
Now let me take my consequences, but I'm gonna tell you what happened, because one thing I know about the truth, it never has to tell a lie.
Exactly. If you always tell the truth, you don't never have to struggle with trying to remember what you said, because you're going to always say the same thing because you're only telling the truth. So
Yes.
I appreciate that. So again, I want to thank you. So you've been listening to Real Talk with Real People, a candid conversation with Dr. Caroline Bethea-Jones. I am your host. My guest tonight was Barbara Hargrove, and she has a book out entitled Girl, Boss Up and Lead. And LEAD is the acronym for Leverage, Elevate, Accelerate, and Dominate. And you can get her book from her website, and I'm going to give you all the information. And the most exciting thing tonight is that she's going to give my listeners 10% off of the book, so you don't have no reason to not want to buy Miss Hargrove's book. So all that information will be in the tagline, so you don't have to worry about it. Again, I want to thank you, my listeners, for tuning in every single month. I will be back next month with something new for you. In the meantime, stay blessed. Love you all.